What up? Double D Dice. Said I wasn't gonna have a video until Friday, but I invented a new throw at work today. Just really, I had stumbled upon it by accident, but I call it the Sidewinder. I'm gonna use the hardway set with a stacked grip, so hardways are on the outside. Really, I've only practiced it for about an hour, so I don't have any real data. But basically, I threw a box cutter at work, just sidearm onto a pallet full of boxes, and it landed on the boxes and just spun. It didn't like slide off. Like if I normally just throw it, it'll slide off. But I threw it with some spin, and it just kind of caught and spun. So I was like, what if I do that with the dice? So I was thinking about it all day, and I really haven't been practicing as much as I usually do because I've been working 60 hours a week right now. But I just had to come and practice it and make a video for tonight showing you guys this. But I call it the Sidewinder. Basically, I take it, kind of start from here, and then I'm just going to keep my arm straight and bring it around like almost a little half circle, release like right there. But it's just going to be just normal, pretty much normal stack grip. Keep this finger about halfway to 2/3 down the dice and just throw it. I'm kind of looking right here, but when I release, it's kind of landed a little in this, about 6 inches to the right of where I'm looking, and then spinning a little bit. So it's almost like a fade in golf. You're aiming at one spot, but you're expecting it to land a little bit right of where you're looking. So yeah, we'll go ahead and try it, and hopefully I'll make a good video for you. But I call it the Sidewinder so far, and I like the action on the dice. We got a 6-1 to start though. Right now, since it's very new, I'm using the hardway set because I want to see what the dice actually do over a decent period of time. And like I said to you before, anytime I get a new throw, I'm going to practice extensively with the hardway set until I figure out what the dice do. There we got a 2, crap 2. I didn't throw that very good. I threw it kind of long. But yeah, I want to I want to use the hardway set for a good amount of time until I figure out what the dice do more often than not. Like if I'm throwing good and I know I'm in the zone, what are the dice doing? And then I'll either keep the hardway set or develop a dice set off of that. We got a 6 deuce 8. So yeah, but it's called the Sidewinder. Just coming around the dice and releasing with just a little bit of I'm doing this, but it's very subtle. If you do it too hard, you're gonna just throw it way to the right and get a huge bounce. But when I throw it right, which has only been an hour's worth, but when I felt like it's a good throw, it'll land and it's not getting a ton of roll out, and it'll roll a little bit to the right, it seems like. So we got a 6 deuce. There's our point. 6 deuce Cadillac point. 6 deuce point. Alright. That's a good start. After that come out 7. But yeah, it seems like a lot of times so far on this throw, one's going off axis. So I'm sure I will, once I get this thing locked in, I'm sure I probably won't use the hardway set as my main dice set. I like that. But we got a 5 deuce because, as you see so far, I've had getting some double pitching going on. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting a whole hell of a lot from this roll yet until I lock it in. But I feel like it was something I wanted to show you guys. We got a 4 deuce 6 because I don't know, it's something I haven't seen, and you know my channel is all about showing stuff that you can't really find. I could do that normal whatever you want, the premier grip or just when I do strategies, normal strategies, but just to get the clicks. But I'm not about that. I'm about original content. We got an ace deuce. I want to show you the stuff that I come up with, and I want you guys to basically open your minds not only to what I'm doing and if you like that, but try stuff that you want to do, or if you think of a throw, try it out, you know what I mean? Life's not always meant to do stuff the conventional way. I hate when I'll ask someone why they do something. This just isn't in dice, this is just anything. And they say, that's the way I've always done it, or that's the way I was taught, or that's the way it's always been done. Okay, fair enough, but what if there's a better way? That's off the table. You know what I mean? That would have been a 6. But yeah, what if it might not be the best way just because it's the way it's always been done, or it's the way you taught, way you were taught. Now, if you try a bunch of different things out and you turns out to be true, all right, then you know why you're using a certain way or why you're doing something. You know what I mean? We got a hard 6 point again. Boom, boom. Let's go. 2 boots in the chute so far. But yeah, I mean, basically what I'm getting at is, if you're going to do something a certain way, know why you're doing it a certain way. Don't just accept what people tell you and then say, or they'll tell you, hey, this is the best way. Well, it may be the best way for them, but how do you know it's the best way for you? You know what I mean? So you got to do stuff a lot of wrong ways a lot of times before you find the right way. So don't be afraid to get outside the box and try something that you think is cool or you want to try just for the sake of trying it. We got a 5-3-8, which is what I've been doing with these throws, because I'm a huge fan of bone thrower and dangerous arm craps. As you know, I've talked about it a lot on my videos, and almost without fail, I'll find a throw I've never seen before from them, and they're just banging numbers, you know what I mean? So, and if they have all these different throws that are giving them an advantage, you know what I mean, then it's telling me that there's way more ways to do it than one. I didn't love that throw, but we escaped it. My wrist didn't break there. It kind of just stayed stagnant, which is why the dice landed to the left. When I'm breaking the wrist, it's coming back towards the middle, like I said, like a little fade in golf, where I'm looking at one thing, but I'm expecting it to land a little bit right of where I'm looking. That I kind of just didn't break the wrist at all. But we got a 6-3-9. No harm done. But yeah, so don't be afraid to get outside the box. Right now I'm coining the Sidewinder. As I practice it over the next couple weeks, if it turns out to be something, I'll definitely keep you posted, or if I find a dice set for it, you know what I mean, I'll keep you posted, because just in the hour I've thrown it, I really, really like this. But I've came up with some throws, I threw that too far. I've came up with some throws that I don't like, which is why I haven't put them on video. But it sounded like a good idea at the time. Ace deuce. Sounded like a good idea at the time. But then not to say maybe that it was a bad throw, it just wasn't working for me. You know what I mean? I don't have one bad night with a throw and just say, throw it out. You know what I mean? Unless it just really feels awful. But I'll practice it for like a week, and if it turns out to be nothing, then I ditch it. You know what I mean? And I have had a couple of those. You're not going to find a throw you like every single time you throw the dice. But we 7'd out there. I didn't like that right dice. It kind of lagged behind. It felt like it didn't get stuck, but it almost felt like it hung on my finger for a second. But 4-3-7. It is what it is. Still early. Still, like I said, first night throwing it, covered 2 points. And we got 5, 10, 11 throws. So you'll take 11 throws all day. I don't know if you will, but I will. If I can get my 7-out ratio to 11 throws, you'll ever hear me complaining. I definitely want it to be more, but I'm a perfectionist when it comes to pretty much everything, so I'm not going to be satisfied in my own head with 10 or 11 in the long run, but I'd definitely be satisfied money-wise, you know what I mean? I always feel like there's a next step in everything in life. There is no pinnacle unless you're literally undeniably the best in the world. We got a 5 deuce, and this is why I know the hard way set. It's only been an hour, but I can almost tell you that the hard way set's not going to be my dice set, because I've seen a good amount of double pitching so far, and you guys have seen it too just in this video. But I definitely like this throw, and I can always come up with a dice set for a double pitch. No problem there. 4 deuce, 6. Shit. I knocked the left dice over to 6. It was a 4. 4 deuce. I had knocked it over to a 6 deuce. But yeah, I mean, I can almost tell you for sure that the hard way set won't be my set. But until I get some good evidence, or until I get some good data with the throw in general, I might start fucking around with something different tonight even. We got a 6-3-9. But just in this video, the numbers I'm hitting seem to be that 6 through 8, and they seem to be the same combinations, so I like that. We had a 6-3-9 last throw. We had a couple 5-3-8s, I believe, so that's definitely what you want to see. Like, don't take just because you're 7 and out as a bad thing when you're practicing, especially a new throw. Like, my throws have been 5 deuce 7, you know what I mean? So I know my dice are double pitching, which is why I'm practicing with the hard way set. We got a deuce 3, 3 deuce 5. But yeah, I mean, I really like this throw so far. It could have been done before, like I said. I'm going to always preface that, because when I say I invent something, that doesn't mean I actually did. It's just in my mind, you know what I mean? I haven't seen it yet, so until I've seen it from someone else, I've invented it, you know what I mean? I threw that short. 6-4-10. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to get you guys up close here in a minute, so you can see the action a little bit closer. You can see the action up close of what the dice are doing. But yeah, man, I think I'm going to like this throw a lot. It's called the Sidewinder. And I like that little side spin it gets when it hits. And we got a 5-1-6. There's our point. Covered the 6 last throw as well. And the 8. So just in my short amount of time with this throw, I've noticed that it's covering the 5 through 9 a lot. I've got a lot of 6s, a lot of 8s, decent amount of 9s, and a decent amount of 5s. Just in the hour and a half I've practiced it. So I know I'm gonna like this throw. We got a hard 10, and as you see, the reason I like this already, that was probably the best throw I've thrown yet, which would make sense because I've got the 5s up, quote unquote. But it really, when I throw it right, the dice are landing. They're coming in spinning, so they're landing, and it's taking out a lot of the, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of the inertia, I guess. It's making it just eats the table almost and just kills it. You know what I mean? It's draining a lot of that energy real quick. That was way too far. Ace deuce. But and another weird thing is, I don't know why, it could just be a coincidence because I don't have a lot of data yet, but it seems like almost every time I throw it too hard and it hits that back wall real hard, I'm getting an ace deuce. Like an abnormal amount, but I don't base anything off one night, you know what I mean? So I want to base it off long term, or at least multiple hours of practicing with it. And even then, I'm always going to keep looking for more. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take a 5-hour window and make it absolute. I'm always going to try to evolve. Another 6-4-10. And that's why I like this thing already, man. Well, I threw a hard 10 a minute ago. I put it on the regular 10. But 2 6-4-10s, a hard 10. I mean, I'm not mad about that. If I got money on the 10, I'd be getting paid. Oh, shit. What did I come out with? I covered the 6. I think I came out with a 10, right? 6. I'm pretty sure I threw that 10 right after, which would have mean I'd covered it. I'll have to go back and check, but I'm almost positive right after I covered that 6, I threw the hard 10. So the number would have been on 10, I would have just covered it. So I'm back coming out. And I'm sure I'll have someone comment, or I'll definitely see it when I post it if I was wrong. But I'm pretty sure I'm right, so for right now I'm going to say I covered that 10. Because I'm pretty fucking sure I did. I'm pretty sure I came out with the 10. And that is a hard 8. Number's 8. But, yeah. I can't swear to it. But I'm pretty fucking sure that I had a 10 and covered it. That's what happens when I get to talking, I guess. I need to pay more attention. Well, there's that Sidewinder. 2-3. You see how that thing just spins? And then doesn't really go anywhere? That's what I love to see. Especially if you can get one spinning and it stops short of the wall and the other one hits the wall. I mean, unless you do that time after time after time, they're really not going to bitch at you. Especially if you're tipping, man. Make sure you're always tipping if you're winning. You know what I mean? That's the way to keep the dealers happy and keep them off your ass. If you got a controlled throw, you know what I mean? And if it's a 5-1-6, another 5-1-6, man. But if it's a casino you plan on frequenting, if you're gonna be there all the time, you definitely, especially about the same times a day, you're gonna have the same dealers a lot, and they're gonna start to recognize you. So you want them to like you, man, especially if you're controlling those bones, which is easier said than done. But hard 8, let's go, baby. That left one got away from me a little bit. I would say I probably got kind of lucky on that. I'm not above admitting luck, but luck's a lot of the game. Luck's a lot in golf. It's better to be good. Better be lucky than good. But and that wasn't a terrible throw. That left one just got into the hook. But yeah, man, tip the dealers, man. I almost say if you're playing well, you want a tithe. And I don't go to church, but 5-3-8. But yeah, if it's a place you're gonna be a lot and you're raking in money, I'd say tip them like 10%, maybe even more if you hit a real big bet. But which sounds crazy because you're like, you know, the casino's there to take your money, but the dealers aren't. You know what I mean? They want you to win because they're not getting tipped when you lose. So yeah, I mean, if I win $100 off a guy, I'll throw the dealer $10, no problem. Or if I hit a big ass small tall all, if I hit them all together, I'm making $628 the way I usually play. So I'll go ahead and give them $60, maybe 78, take 550. You know what I mean? And we got a 5 deuce, so we 7'd out. But yeah, I mean, if you're winning big, tip those motherfuckers, man. Especially the amount they get paid without tips. So we covered 3 numbers. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna put an asterisk on the 10 until we figure out if I was right. But we got 5. Nonetheless, I'd still have the same amount of throws. So I either covered 2 or 3 numbers. 10, 14. All right, so 14 throws. I'll take that. How much time we got? It's been 19 minutes, so I'll go ahead and try to throw one more throw and get you guys up close. But yeah, I mean, you've seen it already. Just in 2 throws, I have a total of 25. So, and this is an hour, within an hour of workshopping this throw, man. It all came because just me throwing a fucking knife at work. And I liked what the knife did, you know what I mean? And I was like, I wondered if I could translate that to dice. So I said, you know what, I'll come home and try it. And I'm physically and mentally exhausted because my work is labor all day, laborious. So yeah, I mean, let's see, what is Wednesday? Is that what it is? Today's Thursday. Shit. See, I can't even keep track of the days. I've already put 50 hours in this week. 5-1-6, man. There it is again. I like that throw a lot. If I can repeat those 5-1-6s. But, so as I'm seeing a lot of times too, one dice is going off axis. I'm getting a lot of 5s and 6s, or I mean 1s and 6s in there, which lets me know if this continues that I will change my dice set. But yeah, so I'm 50 hours in with 10 hours to go tomorrow. Hard 4. That was a little strong. So yeah, man, I'm physically and mentally beat. But if I can do it, if I can do this without full, I don't know, fatigued, if I can do this fatigued, then I know I can turn this throw into something. But yeah, it's a Sidewinder, man. There's been stuff done like it where you get side spin on the dice. But why I like it is off the wall, or off the wall and table. But why I like it is instead of putting a big flick on your wrist, your arm swings around and you just put a light flick. And I feel like your wrist is hard to, you know what I mean? You can easily flick it too hard when you're doing those throws where you're trying to get that side spin with the flick. And we got 2 snake eyes. But yeah, the more you have to flick your wrist, the more room for error. The wrist isn't the most like coordinated joint, you know what I mean? It's hard to get the right amount of flick every time. So the less I have to flick, I'm going to let my arm do the work. Because if I just keep my arm straight, bring it around, and release at the same time, I know that little bit of flick isn't going to do much. Or I don't have to do much with the flick to get a good result. 6 deuce. But I love how these things are spinning, man. And when I'm throwing them good, they're not getting those huge bounces off the wall, which has really helped me out. But I am seeing a lot of 6s, a lot of 1s. Luckily not together, so it's showing me that one of them is going off axis. Eventually, I'm going to practice, way too far. I'm going to practice with 2 different dice. We got a 5-1-6 though. 2 different colored dice that are, so I can tell which one it is that's going off axis and develop my dice set from there. But I have so many different dice, a lot of them even from different casinos, that feel so much different. I got some green and red ones on the way. I pretty much buy a new set of dice each week just because I like having a lot of dice, and I want to have something for every type of dice. But once I get some that are pretty much the exact same, 5 deuce, but that's on the come out. And every one of my 7s, it seems like, is a 5 deuce. So that's that double pitch action, where I know I'm going to change my dice set if it stays like this. But even then, I'm not getting it a ton. But when I do 7 out, it seems to be that. So that lets me know a good amount. And it hasn't even been a 4-3, which is weird, because I could just as easily double pitch with a 4-3, 6 deuce. But yeah, I'm getting a lot of 6 deuces also, which is just showing me that one of these motherfuckers is going off axis. And right now, I'm more focused on the mechanics than trying to watch the dice in the air. Once I get the mechanics down to where I can, where it's, you know what I mean, where it's muscle memory, I can watch the dice fly through the air a little better. And maybe I'll even be able to tell when too far. When I go back 639, I might even be able to tell when I go back and watch this video which one it is. But as of right now, while I'm throwing, I haven't been able to catch which one it is. But so that'll tell me all I need to know. And like I said, for the time being, I'm going to keep practicing the hard way set for a good amount of time. Just because, and that's a 7 out, I threw that too far. But just because I want to know what they're doing. And I talked about the 4-3 not popping up, and it just did. So that's the shortest throw yet that we've had on video. But it was still 5, a little 8 throw. Nothing to be proud of, but you can still make money on 8 rolls. But I'm not going to throw a full another, and I still covered a 6. I've came out with a 6 every single time and covered it. So that tells you a little bit. But yeah, I'll throw just a couple more. I'm not going to count them or because I don't have the time in the video. The video cut off if I get on a decent throw. But just so you see the action of the dice, they get that side spin and they come in. Like I said, I'm looking right around here, but I know they're gonna land right around here. It's just like I said multiple times already, and that was a hard 4, by the way. It's like hitting a fade in golf. You know what I mean? I'm looking at one thing, but I'm expecting and wanting it to land at another spot. As long the distance, I want it to land the same distance I'm looking, but I want it to land a little right of where I'm looking. And you saw that it landed, kicked right, and then just died off the wall. Another 6 deuce. So I'll throw one more from here, and then I'll bring you up. I'll bring you up again where you originally were, so you can see the mechanics of it one more time. Of the way my arm's swinging and how it's coming out and releasing. Short. And that's a 5 deuce. I'll throw one more because that was horrible. I landed that literally a foot short of where I wanted to. And we'd be throwing this from about stick left 2. That's my favorite spot. A lot of people prefer stick left 1, but it feels too short for me. I got kind of long arms, which I don't know if that has something to do with it. 5'1", but when I'm that close, it just feels like such a short throw that sometimes I throw it strong to the wall, and even if I don't hit the wall, it lands just short and doesn't get the action I want off the wall. So I like stick 2. I can throw from stick 1. I don't hate it, but if I'm gonna pick one, if I have the option, I'm gonna take stick 2 every day. But that's just me. Everyone's got their own preferences. The only thing I don't know if I'm any good at is really from throwing all the way from the back. Because when I'm at the casino, if I'm stuck all the way at the back, a lot of times I either won't throw or I'll just have to try to control it, and I'm playing as if I'm a random shooter because I don't know, right, the way my it's another 6 deuce 8, but the way my basement is, I don't have enough room to go back to where the back wall would be. I mean, I could, I guess, in theory. I guess I would be right at 12 feet. So maybe I could practice it, but I wouldn't be able to make any videos. And eventually I will start practicing, but it wouldn't be 14 feet, I can tell you that. Because right here is 9. Like 9 and a little over 9, 9 and 2 inches, maybe to 9.5, right where I'm throwing. So I probably got 3 more feet that I can go back, but I definitely don't have 5 feet I can go back. And if I do practice it, I won't be able to show you a video, at least from this angle. But yeah, so I kind of, anyways, the mechanics one more time. Keeping my arm down, a little diagonal, basically, where I start. And then, boom. Just keep it straight. Straight arm, I'm not bending the elbow when I throw. Just keep it as straight as possible and release. I let go of that too late. 3-1-4. But that's another thing. Another reason I know I'm gonna like this is because most throws, when you release too late, you're throwing it too high, and you're either getting a huge bounce and it's going off the table, or it's just randomizing. But if I'm releasing too late, it's just going further right. You know what I mean? And maybe eventually I'll get to where I like that better. Because right now this is all workshop. Like, this is another 3-1-4. I have nothing set in stone about this throw other than the mechanics of the way my arm swings and the grip. I haven't got a dice set down. I don't know if the point that I'm releasing at is the best point right now, but so far I like what I see. I mean, it's only been an hour total, and I love this throw. 6-4-10, and that was one of the best throws I've thrown all night. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. Plus, I only got another minute and a half on this video. But 6-4-10. It's called the Sidewinder, and I hope you guys like it, and I hope someone else tries it and tells me if they like it or not. But yeah, I mean, I really love this throw already. My highest throw with it's only 21 or 23, something like that. But that's when I was like, I got to make a video. I really like this throw. So, and then I just threw what, an 11, a 14, and an 8. So 33 throws, 33 throws and 3 rolls, average of 11. But that's super small sample size. But just in a video, 11 average, which is kind of like a lot of my throws so far is about a 10 to 12 average. So, and this is right off the bat. So I think this thing could be lethal once I get it set in stone. But yeah, hope you guys like it. You know the drill. Comment any bitches, comments, concerns, gripes, whatever, and I'll get back to you and say hello to my little friends.